Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today for another Silhouette Studio tutorial. Today we are going to talk about taking single color designs and turning them into multicolor layers. And guys, this is one you definitely don't want to miss. Alright guys, so here we are in Silhouette Studio, and this is just my basic workspace here. So I'm going to go to File and Merge, and I'm going to bring over a black and white clip art that I just downloaded. And I really love it a lot. Now I just want to say that this would look gorgeous as a solid color, but it's also going to look really gorgeous in multiple colors, and that's what we're here to show you today. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, and I do this anytime that I start getting into what I consider like a heavy editing mode, is I'm going to create a duplicate. Now you can use copy and paste, or I use a shortcut on my keyboard, which is, I'm on a PC, it's the control button and the left directional arrow to move it off to the left. And that just gives me kind of like a starting point. So if I completely mess up, I can delete what I'm working on and come grab a fresh copy over here. But this is my editing copy. And what I'm going to do, the very first thing is I'm going to come over here to my fill, and I'm going to turn it transparent. And I'm going to turn my line color to black. Now that's going to be important. I'm also going to go ahead and zoom in for you. No point in straining our eyes, right? I want you guys to get nice and close and see what we're working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to release the compound path. And what that is going to do is it's going to give me all these individual pieces. It completely breaks apart the design. Okay? Now, let me just make sure. I'm also going to center to page. I just want to make sure that my design is completely centered, and that can be important later on for lining up, okay? So from here, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete that main outside line. I don't need it anymore, and you'll see why after a while. And then from here, I can hold down my Shift key and start selecting all the different pieces that I want to include in a certain color. And as I click on them, I can come over here and fill them in, and it'll kind of show me, if I'm missing any. And I can continue to do that for really as many pieces as I want. I will have some inside pieces that I will take out, like this piece. Actually, I don't need that piece. And I will continue to do this until I've filled in all the different colors that I want to include. I can even group them as I go along. You can also use your drag box to select more than one shape at a time. And as long as you're holding down your Shift key, you can come back and select with your drag box over and over. If you've selected a piece that you didn't mean to include, if you hold down your Shift key, you can actually deselect that piece also. Okay, so once you have everything colored in, there's another neat little tip that I'll show you. And this, I believe, is a designer edition feature, but it's really useful. It is your select by color. And you can change it to fill, and it will show you all the colors that are currently on your cutting area. And I can select yellow, and then I can use my group up here to group those together. And I can go down color by color and group all of my light colors together. Now this probably does not seem real important right now, but it's very important whenever you go to start cutting and lining these up in the future. Now what I wanted to show you, the reason, remember when I did center to page? Now if I select my original design here, I can center to page and it will show me exactly what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. You'll notice that I deleted these pieces so that they would show through. Now let me show you another thing. If we come back over here, I'm going to create another duplicate, and I'm also going to, remember, turn it transparent. And the reason we do that is so that you can see these individual lines. If you were to, let me show you. If you were just to take this image and release the compound path, it'll fill in all in black. okay? And then you can't see the individual line colors. So we're going to turn it transparent and give ourselves a line color. Now, if I draw out just that individual piece and fill it with black and send it to back and center that to page, I get a little bit of a different look. It doesn't have these pieces cut out, but it does have some benefits in that all of these other pieces would be easier to line up having a solid background. Okay, so it just depends on the look that you're going for, but I really like having the ability just to kind of fit this together like a puzzle if I need to. And because we have set all of these up to be grouped by color, when it's time to cut, if we wanted to do it the old-fashioned way, we would be able to line up green and cut it and move it. Line up red, cut it and move it, okay? And then there's one other tool that I can show you for cutting multicolored designs without having to move them all over the mat. This is also going to be an upgraded feature. If you go over to your send panel, you can actually have a more complex cutting pattern. If you come up here, you see where my mouse is, and choose fill, you can select the color that you want to cut. So this check mark up here controls all your cutting. So you can check that or uncheck it rather. Select yellow and it will light up your yellow. And that means that only your yellow will cut. When you're done, you can select your next color. Only the green lights up. Okay. Now we will put out some more videos on using the cut by color feature, why you would want to use it and how it saves you a whole lot of time. But this is just your basic tutorial on taking a complex single color design and being able to break it up into a multicolor design in Silhouette Studio. So guys, how do you feel about breaking up your designs into multiple colors? Now I know it's not the most exciting project you'll do all day, but I think it is very good knowledge to have. That way you have more powerful tools to be able to manipulate your designs and get the finished project that you're looking for. Now, of course, if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave those below. I do love to hear from you guys, and I do love to get your video requests, so keep those coming in. And in return, if you'll just take a quick second, subscribe to the channel, because I do love to keep bringing you these videos, and that's what helped keep our little channel going here. So guys, I just thank you again. I really do appreciate every time you stop by, and we will see you again next time.